Welcome to the Bloom Show. I am Sahid, your host and founder of New Bloom Solutions and New Bloom Media. And this show is made possible by New Bloom Media. And today, as you can see, it's the Bloom Show Women's Day special panel episode. And what is the Women's Day special panel episode? We've been doing this for about 6 years. It just started, I guess, like I was saying, the story inspired by my wife, which was a leader in her industry as a woman, and really want to continue to inspire others in our industry. So every year we bring 3-4 women to just talk about their careers, to give some insight, some advice. And hopefully the next generation of leaders will look at that and learn something from that and inspire them to continue to grow and basically develop the next leader, which I think is very important. As a leader, our goals are really, my goal, but is always to develop the next you. Right. So that's something we hope to inspire on this show today. So we do ask if you do like the show, please comment and like. And for the women out there, happy Women's Day, which is March 8th. Thank you for all you do. And it's an awesome day to just remember how awesome women are. And I'm not going to say how awesome they are, because if I say it, men are going to get upset at me, but women are superior. They're stronger, they're smarter. So thank you so much to all awesome women out there, including my wife. So let me bring on the guest, and let me tell you who's going to be on before really quickly. We're going to have, and I want to get this right, so we're going to have Renee Tucci, AIFD, PFCI, AAF, and president of AIFD. We have Lori Wheat, president of Society of American Florists, and then Tatiana Castro, VP of Sales and Marketing for Floral at PPC Flexible. So I'm gonna bring them on, and again, feel free to ask questions. Feel free to even chime in and say it's great seeing them, and just saying hi, give them a shout out. It's always nice to have that. So let's bring them in.
The Bloom Show in the Bay, connect and bloom.
Hello, ladies. How are you? I saw you, Tatiana. I know you're a dancer. You like to dance.
I didn't know you had this little jam with your new bloom. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this off. Sorry, I see everybody's a little covered there. I see Lori, but yeah, we have a little jam every year. We do it, and I thought it was a cool video that the team created, kind of showing from grounds to workshop desk. It's what the Bloom Show and the Bloom Together initiative is all about, is bringing together all sectors. So moving that one flower, but you have to see Tatiana in the background with the song. With the song. But Lori, welcome. Renee, welcome. And Tatiana, welcome. So welcome. And thank you for taking your time today to sharing your story. I'm going to give you a couple seconds, if you don't mind, ladies, to introduce yourselves. So we could start with Lori. Just a quick brief, who you are and what do you do?
Yes, I am Lori Wheat. I am a retail florist out of Colorado. Lafayette Florists. We're right outside of Boulder. And I'm the third generation. My fourth generation is also working in our store now. And I have, we're a traditional retail florist. And I am currently the president of the Society of American Florists also.
And then Renee, please.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Sahid. I am Renee Tucci. I am located, home base is about an hour outside of Philadelphia. And I spent almost 20 years coming up in retail floristry. And then I made the leap, and now I'm a freelance designer and a floral educator. And I'm also as you mentioned, president of AIFD.
Yes. And Tatiana?
So my name is Tatiana Castro. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm VP of Sales and Marketing for Floral at PPC Flex. And I've been playing and working with flowers and flower packaging probably for as long as I can remember. And just as we said before when we all met, I am not president of anything, but president of my household. So
That's okay.
I know you're like, I'm jealous.
It's
So
a lot of
20.
work. It's a lot of work. Responsibility. So let's jump into a couple questions. And I was, great we have this question because I was thinking, what's been all your journeys? But can each of you share a little about your journey in the floral industry and what inspired you to pursue leadership roles within it? And I was going to kind of not picking on anybody, but Renee, do you mind starting?
Sure, sure. So I mentioned I did 20 years in retail. That makes it sound like I was doing time, but I started like the traditional path of in retail shop. You started at the bottom, worked my way up, and while I was learning all of the things about floristry, I found myself searching for education and community. And so I would attend lots of local floral design events, education events, and I did find the community that I was looking for. And I grew my network and my support system. And then, frankly, Sahid, I was like pushed into leadership because these people that I was surrounding myself with, I don't know, they saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And they urged me to stick my neck out no matter how uncomfortable it made me and to try to do these different things. And I'm really grateful that I did because being in leadership has changed me as a person and I think for the better. And I've really learned a lot. And the best part about it is being able to give back and mentor the next generation. So that's a little bit of my story.
It's awesome. Thanks for sharing. And Lori?
Yeah, I did not want to be a florist. I saw my mom work so hard, and they worked every holiday, and her hands just were like always beat up. And so I was like, I do not want to be a florist. And then when I graduated from college, I was trying to get a job. And then I told my dad, well, if I can't find a job, maybe I can come back to the florist. And he said, I'm not hiring you. You have no experience doing anything. So I had to really get serious and go find a job. So I went into the fashion industry because I graduated with a degree in textiles and clothing and fashion merchandising. So I was recruited by May Company department stores. They had 13 locations in Colorado and a store in Albuquerque. And I did that for 8 years. I was a buyer for Better Dresses. I had an office in Denver and one in New York City. I was there every 3 weeks. It was a lot of traveling. So I think that's when, after Brian and I had our child Tanner, I couldn't do it after 3 years. He was 3 years old, and I was like, okay, this is it. I'm done with traveling, and I want to be at home. So I went into the florist because now my dad said, okay, now you have a little bit of experience, come run the florist. And so I started with merchandising, marketing, eventually went into the financial part of it. And then I started volunteering my time with SAF, and I did a lot of leadership roles. I did, I was on councils, and I was on the board of directors. And then, I just served in as many ways that I possibly could, as many committees that I could possibly work on. I volunteered for every one of them because I think that's where you get your start, is you really, that leadership helped me. It helped me to meet a lot of people and to get experience in different areas. So yeah, so that's kind of how I started.
That's awesome. Thank you. And Tatiana?
I'm listening to you, and I said, it sounds very similar. So I did not study or never even thought about going into flowers or packaging. But I was at Florida State, and I graduated with a degree in criminology. I think I've shared this with you before, Sahid. And I loved it. I worked with juvenile delinquents, sexual offenders to be specific, and I was thriving. I really loved the career. It did not pay a lot, and then after 2 years of it, I needed to transfer back I was living in Tallahassee. I was moving back to Miami, and my stepfather, who back then was the owner of Nature's Flowers, was just starting the company and said, while you transfer back, I really could use help in anything. Like, it's a startup company. You can do invoicing, you can do clerical, you can be in the warehouse, whatever you want to do. And I said, okay, but I'm just doing this temporarily because I do not want to work uh, in flowers, or, I'm not aware, or I'm not knowledgeable in it. And little by little, I started, from building my own desk. That was day one. He's like, okay, here we all get our hands wet, so just build your desk. So from building the desk, to then doing clerical, to then going into the warehouse, I was kind of working all of the touch points of floral. And then I did start pushing myself, unintentionally, really, to become more of a leader, because I was trying to move the company forward more and more. And so the more I could get involved and the more I could get, similar stories, the more associations I could learn with, the more travel I did. I wanted to go to all the travel shows. I wanted to be in the warehouse wet packing, but I also wanted to be in front of the customer. And I found that the best way was to lead and to eventually start managing some people. And my stepfather also, of course, was pushing me in that way. And what was supposed to become like a short summer temporary job led me to where I am now. We moved from flowers and I went into packaging. And since then, I've just loved, really being able to use my role in a creative way and to lead other women as well. And now I have a daughter, and it just feels even more empowering to be able to all women, but also, through the leadership role.
Thank you for sharing. And a question that kind of popped in my head. You all said leadership. Why leadership, right? When do you make that decision? Because leadership's not for everybody. It's a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of mentoring, training. So why choose leadership, and how do you know when you're ready to take a leadership role? If anybody wants to answer
I'll
that.
say, I mean, at least for me, I don't think it was intentional. I think as it started to happen, I recognized it more, and definitely now. But leadership, like I said, I just wanted to be able to um, influence the decisions more and influence what was happening with the company and with those that I was working with. So it was not intentional at all. But I did find that the more I, suggested ideas and stood up for my beliefs and the things that I wanted to happen, it just developed that way, that it was like, okay, she is not letting go. She really wants to do this. She's showing how she wants to do it. And so I was just taken into that leadership, but it was never intentional.
And Renee or Lauren?
Yeah, I could. So my path in leadership was similar to Lori's. As I was coming up in AIFD, I just said yes to everything. I volunteered in any committee that would take me, and met so many people. And so then I started to be asked to be involved in leadership roles, like our local chapter. And once I started on that board of directors, it was pretty much a rocket ship, because I love to organize things. And I'm really like on top of communications and spreadsheets, and taking ideas and bringing them to life. And that is really handy in that type of environment, in a board of directors type of environment. And so the more I did, the more I realized I was helping our little group, and making inroads and progress and reaching a greater audience. And honestly, the bug kind of bit me, and I was like, wow, look what I can do if I keep going. Look how many more people I can help and heads I can turn. And so that's pretty much why I kept with it.
Fantastic. Lori, how about yourself?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with both of you. For me, also, leadership was a way to help lift up everyone. It's kind of because of the Society of American Florists is an organization made up of retailers, growers, wholesalers, and suppliers, we're always looking for ways to make the industry better, to communicate with each other better, and to lift everyone up. And so it's just like Next Gen. It's taking this group and giving them the opportunities and showing them that there are this is a great industry, and there's lots of different ways you can participate in it. And I think it's that part of the leadership that I really enjoy, is watching other people bloom, kind of.
Oh, I love how you said that.
And we're on the Bloom Show, so
Yeah.
that was a good one. Good one. Let's see how many times we can all use Bloom.
Like a drinking game.
Challenge accepted.
Let's see. Usually, last year we did a Women's Day roundtable. It was like a Thursday night, and we did cocktails. Too bad. We forgot to do that. I have a question here set up, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, I don't know how to ask this, but as VP of Corporate and Marketing at PC, how have you seen marketing strategies evolve? And then I guess I want to change it to, how have you seen innovation, and how has innovation played a role in women leadership?
Okay, that's for me, right?
That's for you. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I think it's just really changed. Floral marketing being, it used to be way more about the product and just product and price driven, where I think now it's a lot more about the experience. So we're working with the retailers to really tell their story, either through their branding, through their corporate initiatives. Sustainability is huge right now. So it's really just bringing that experience of the flowers through the packaging onto the shelf. I think that's really how it's evolved, at least for the floral marketing packaging side. And then I also think, again, as far as innovation, sustainability, it's not going away. We had a moment. I've been doing this for 20 years, and you always see it come and go. But I think more and more, it's definitely at the forefront of our strategies and our initiatives. So I think that's a big play. But again, I think when we innovate as part of telling a story and as an experience, so you're not just, here's a decorative heart sleeve package, but just more, we're adding a tag, we're adding a story, we're adding some kind of give back, so that the end consumer really feels something that is an experience with the entire package. So not just, I bought a bouquet of flowers, but how it made them feel, or how it made the person they're gifting it to feel. So I think that's the biggest growth and the change that I've seen within floral marketing.
Thank you for sharing. We have a quick little shout out from Sergio Cadavid, saying he's giving a little round of applause. He's a big fan. So let's see here. So we have Lori. Lori, as a fourth generation florist and current SAF president, what inspired you to focus on grooming the next generation of leaders within your family's business and the industry at large? Because I know you're very open about your succession plan, which is always great. I think very informative as well.
Yeah, this secession for me is like one of the biggest things, one of the biggest issues I think for our industry, but also as a retail florist. Florists are starting to disappear because you work all your life and you build this business. And then if you don't have a succession plan, it's so sad when it disappears. They close down, and your community is left with this hole. The communities rely on a retail florist. So succession is so important. And I have been working with my son, Tanner, for we've been talking about this probably for about 10 years now. And succession is something that is ongoing. You can't develop leadership, just overnight. It happens over a long period of time. And you continue to groom them and have them get mentorship, not only from us, our family, but from others. I send them just recently to Next Gen, which is a convention that SAF has for those next generation leaders. And it's for people, who are young leadership in your companies, and they're all levels. So they can be something from a starting, entry level position to a mid manager to these young owners. I met a couple of people that own their flower shop and they're very young. And
Yeah.
so it's a great place to meet others, to really make those connections and to learn about, um, you know, the challenges that are out there on transferring a business or moving a business into a next generation. And so, yeah, so that's something that I'm very passionate about. Yes, for sure.
And I'm glad you brought up next gen because I think it's super important that people know that it's out there, right?
Yeah,
Because next gen is just this great community. Again, the WhatsApp group is awesome, and it's just a great value to be a part of it, to connect and learn from your peers.
yeah. I think a lot of industries don't look at their next gen like SAF does, like our floral industry does. SAF has created this great mechanism for these people to connect, and so I think it's just wonderful. Yeah.
It's fantastic. So let's go to Renee. Renee, your career spans design, education, and leadership. And if you've never seen Renee do an education session, it's one of the most relaxing things ever. Because Renee's such a great presenter and very calming, and she just calms the whole room. It's an awesome thing. I was so impressed by the first time I saw you speak, Renee. How has been being a part of organizations like AIFD, PFCI, and AAF shape your approach to empowering others in the floral community?
Wow, that was really kind of you to say, Sahid. Thank you. um, I guess simply put, I'm paying it forward. I've mentioned already that I started by just saying yes and getting involved in as many things as I could and finding that community. And when I did, I found all these mentors and people that wanted to support me and encourage me, and I blindly trusted them and did what they told me to do. And luckily, they led me down the right paths. But the amount of kindness and encouragement and support is greater than I ever imagined it would be. And that's made like such a difference in my life. So it would be really selfish of me not to pay that forward. I made it my mission to nurture those same things in anyone that shows interest. So I try to be a connector for people, to try to get to know folks and what their goals are and their ambitions, and then try to connect them with someone that can help them achieve that. And that's really where I am in my career right now.
And help them bloom their careers, right?
Help them bloom. Oh, I missed the opportunity. Yes.
Ding, 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 ding. So we have a little shout out here from Sergio again. Thanks for the shout out. Great to be here. The women leading this industry from farm management to global sales don't get enough recognition. Love that the Bloom Show is putting the spotlight where it belongs. Happy Women's Day week. I like that. It shouldn't be a Women's Day. It should be a Women's Day week, right? That's awesome. I like that. Again, you might have started something there, Sergio. That's cool. What unique skills or perspectives do you feel women bring into leadership roles in not just our industry but overall?
I think,
Oh,
yeah, I was just thinking of kindness. I mean, you just saw Renee, what she just said.
Yeah.
That's such a kind thing to say. I think women recognize that, I don't know, they bring something different, something softer, and it's such a weird thing to think about, but when you're in a boardroom, it often is very male focused, and when you get a woman's perspective in there where she has more empathy and has kindness, I think it brings a different feeling to that leadership.
I would agree, Lori. I really think the empathy that women have is our superpower, and the ability to see the potential outcomes based on a scenario or a person or a situation and kind of help guide that. I think that's really the unique skill that women bring.
yeah.
Yourself, Tatiana?
I was going to say empathy again, but that was before we all said it. But I do also think it's been evolving and changing. I think now, with not just International Women's Day, but just more and more women, I think, aligning with each other. And I was talking to Kim, the person that I'm out here traveling with, just how much there's like women camaraderie and we just align. So I just think that really helps other women, coming into these leadership roles to like look into a boardroom or look into a presentation and see like, oh wow, look, there's all these other women and they're great and they're, just and I also think women in these roles, we have gut feelings. I always say that's our superpower as well, is we have our gut intuition and our feeling, and I think that really sets us aside.
Yeah, I think that whole thing of supporting each other. Yeah. And being not as competitive. I think in a male environment, you're a little bit more competitive, or in a women's environment, I'm hoping anyway that we are more supportive of each other and, cheer each other on.
And that's what I think has changed, right? I just see that even with my daughter, if I ever say anything not nice, she's like, oh my God, like women, mom, women, like just stand by you. And I'm like, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Correct. So, yeah.
Cool. We have a couple of shout outs here. Sean the gardener. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Sean. And then we have Kim Boyne. There you go. Women empowering women biceps. That's super cool. Let me jump in here. How do you see the role of women evolving, or how has it evolved, or how do you see it evolving in the floral industry?
Well, I'll start. I mean, I think it's a little bit about what we just said. Women are redefining leadership in our industry with a strong emphasis on collaboration and mentorship and connection rather than just a hierarchy based on who you are or who you know or what you've done. So I think that's a big part of how the industry is evolving.
I agree completely. I mean, that's, I think, wraps it all up.
Lori, have you seen evolution of that in our industry?
Yeah, I think it's great when you see these women in leadership positions. For example, Kate Penn, she is the CEO of Society of American Florists, and she does it so, I don't know, so gracefully, I guess. She does it with humor and with connection, and she knows everybody's name and she knows what they do and where they're from. And she has been an inspiration to me because I get to work with her, and to see a woman lead an organization like that is really inspiring.
And she always has a smile. You're right. It's like she's light on her footsteps. It's
Mhm.
kind of floating. It's really impressive.
Yeah,
Renee,
you couldn't have named a better example there, Lori. I mean, Kate is just, she's the GOAT.
Yep, definitely.
Years ago, we have it's kind of cool. Sean the gardener. Hi, all watching from Cornwall, England, UK. That's
Wow.
pretty cool.
See, he probably has a drink in his hand.
So, question here: can you tell us about any current projects, workshops, or presentations that you're leading, or maybe a organization or a group that you're involved in that you think is important to share and encourage more involvement?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm constantly just making sure to get out to all of the customers and retailers, but I'm also I just joined the Flori Expo board, and I used to be on what used to be the PMA IFPA board. So these are just constant, I guess, traveling that I do. I try to stay as involved as I can in the rural industry. There are other things going on in the background that I don't want to expose out there just for competitive reasons. But yeah, we just always try to stay in the know and the forefront of the floral industry.
Renee?
Well, for anyone near Philadelphia, I am currently in the throes of the Philadelphia Flower Show with my students. So
Yeah.
that is real time happening, and the show is open until this Sunday, March 8th, which I think is actually Women's Day. If
Yes.
okay,
That's
so
cool.
please go see the Philadelphia Flower Show if you're near or if you're far, because it's really outstanding this year. Once I wrap that up, I'll be back to teaching at our AIFD Education Partner Program at Bucks County Community College. I speak to a lot of different garden clubs throughout the year, which I think is a really fun angle to present to like an allied group that's a little bit outside of our normal floral design group, but they speak our language. And then, AIFD, that they keep me busy in whatever spare time I have.
Symposium's coming up in
Oh,
Yeah.
4 months,
it's
right?
coming. It's coming. Yes. July 2nd through the 6th in Orlando. So keep an eye out for Elevate Symposium. That registration is going to open very soon.
Here's a link below.
Little shameless plug. Thank you.
So, how about yourself, Renee? Oh, I'm sorry, Lori.
I just came off of being able to MC the Next Gen group, the Next Gen Live convention.
That was
So
awesome.
that was very exciting. I mean, I think that's one of my new SAF favorite events. It was just so energetic, So that was that. And then I'm going into convention. So SAF's convention is in August. Mid-August. I'm sorry, the dates 15th through 18th, I believe. It's going to be in Amelia Island, Florida. And so I'll be able to MC a lot of those programs too.
And that's I think it's at the Ritz, right? I imagine.
Yeah, it's at the Amelia Island. Yes, Ritz-Carlton, Amelia Island.
It's a beautiful hotel.
It's
Amelia
gorgeous.
Island, really cute little place. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's only a mile away from my favorite place, which is Jekyll Island. An hour away.
Huh.
And so if you can take 2 days off before or after, go to Jekyll Island. It's worth it. It's so
Okay.
awesome.
Good tip.
But I have no connections to them, but I know
Another shameless plug.
yeah, but it's a great place. I love sharing my favorite places. So is there any books that you've read, right? I know that wasn't a question, but is there any books that have inspired you as leaders just recently or in the past that you'd recommend for someone to read?
We're all like, wait, what?
Books? Do you read books? Maybe
I
no.
just finished Lane's book, Lane DeVries.
That's a leadership book.
Yeah,
That's
it's
cool
a
leadership
very
book.
good book, and it's his
Yeah.
life story. Lane was a grower. He's from Holland, and he had a greenhouse, a very, very large scale greenhouse in California, and recently had to close it down because of there's so many regulations and things that happened to him. And he tells the story about it and how he survived that, and now he's the president of Cal Flowers, and really inspiring book on resilience. So
Yeah, that's
And
true.
one of my
I read it too. It was an easy read as well. It was a
Yeah.
great read.
Mhm.
I've read 2 books after that. They're horrible to read. So I really enjoyed his book.
I
Really
saw him.
enjoyed it.
I saw him post about it, and I'm glad you brought it up because I really want to read it now. But one of my favorite books is The Four Agreements. It's an
The
old.
4 Agreements?
Yes, I
Okay.
can't. Have you read it before?
No, I have not. No, that's why I'm writing it down.
It's like a life lesson. I mean, it really is just the best, and it's an easy read as well. The Alchemist also, and I mean, The Old Man and the Sea was one of my favorite childhood ones, but it's quite sad. So,
I
but nothing
love it.
recent, unfortunately. I said the
No,
only
go
recent one is Housemaids, which was very scary. I haven't watched the movie yet. I wanted to read the book, so that was the most recent one.
And how about yourself, Renee?
So I hate to say I don't have as much time to read as I used to, but now I'm pretty much all podcasts all the time. My podcast queue is pretty stacked, and a lot of it is industry, some pop culture. But I will say that one of my favorite podcasts, it's an entrepreneur business podcast called How I Built This. And I think listening to the stories of how people build their businesses really is an insight into leadership as well. And so I take cues from what I learned in that show too. So if you're into podcasts, check out How I Built This.
That's great. And I love the Giving Tree.
Oh, of course. That's a sad one too.
That was a sweet one, but it was a sad one because Tatiana said one. I was like, it reminded me of the Giving Tree. But and lately I've been reading more books, and I think it's really important to continue either podcasts or books. It's just you continue to learn, and like you said, Lori, Lane's story is about resilience and just kind of trucking forward and being transparent with your team. So the leadership story is the leadership lessons are really there. So and I have to give him a shout out. He's top 10 in independent publishing books. So I think it's 500 to 600 books that he's sold already on Amazon. So as an independent publisher, he's top 10 on Amazon.
That's
That's
fantastic.
great. Yeah.
And that's the floral industry, right?
Yeah, that's great.
That's super cool. So looking back on your careers, what is one piece of advice or insight you would give? I'm gonna change this one out. Looking back at your careers, what is one piece of advice or insight you would give yourself if you can go back to when you first started your career? I hope I didn't throw a screwball there, but I thought it would be exciting to change that up a little bit.
I'm gonna take the easy way out here and just say, which is the truth. I wouldn't change a thing.
Good. There you go.
Well, and I was about to say that it didn't really change how I had thought of answering the original question, which was to again trust your insight, trust your gut. And I think that's kind of how I always led. So also wouldn't change much.
For me, I think I always worry about being the quiet one, the one that isn't saying as much. And so I always have to push myself to voice my opinion. But I don't think now that I shouldn't have worried about that so much. I think that leadership doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be the loudest voice in the room. And I think that's what I learned.
That's interesting. You say that, in silence there is wisdom, in silence there is strength as well. So that's really interesting.
I think because I spend more time listening, and then that listening became something that was very helpful in leadership.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
appreciate
I
that.
saw that in the movie or in the series The Crown. And that was one of the things she said, that in her very powerful role, the Queen said, one of the best things you can do in a room is just stay quiet and listen and don't make any sudden moves, just take that time to process and don't react, to whatever news. And she said that really stuck with me. I was like, oh, yeah, let's just think, process, and then act, not just react.
Yeah. That's great advice. Great advice. I appreciate you, ladies. Thank you so much for being here today on Women's Day. And again, happy Women's Day to all three of you. Is there any last words you'd like to say to our next generation of women leaders? Renee?
Don't give up. It's one of the greatest jobs you'll ever have and greatest industries you'll ever see.
Yeah. And I think don't get scared of this is the thing is you have to know your numbers. You have to be very financial driven. So to sit in that boardroom, know your financials, know how to be profitable.
And I would say all of that plus you got this. Trust yourself, push yourself, and you're going to do great things.
That's good. Ladies, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you. And Renee, best of luck at the Philadelphia Flower Show.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. You should all come out.
Yeah.
You can get here before Sunday.
I haven't
No,
been to that one yet. Have you been? Have you been to that one, Lori? Or
No, I have not. I want to go so bad though. Yeah.
I,
I'm always
me.
wanted to go.
I know.
Well, yeah, happy Women's Week to everybody. And
I
Sahid,
like
thank you so much. I love meeting you guys.
Yes.
and I told you, Sergio, you started something. Happy Women's Week, right? So you you started something. So thank you all, ladies. I'm going to put you back in the bloom room. Have a great rest of your day, and thank you again for sharing your stories with us today.
Thanks, Sahid.
Thanks, Sahid.
Take care. Bye bye. And there we go. So it's always a pleasure to speak to inspiring women in our industry that continue to inspire others and at the same time give back. Right, volunteering is something we do. It's a beautiful thing to do, so that you can give back to the next generation. You can give back to the next leaders. You can inspire others to do the same and to continue to give back. It's basically that gift of that keeps on giving. So we really want to thank the women that were here today, the leaders that were here today, to share their story. You know, short and sweet, but I think it's really important to continue to inspire women, future women leaders. From if you just started the industry and trying to figure out this industry, to have been here for a while and might feel like, God, I want to do something different. I think something we learned today is getting involved and not giving up, right? Just moving on forward and trying to find your I guess your motivation, but sometimes that motivation comes in different ways, by inspiring others, by learning, by getting involved and helping organizations. So thank you to everybody for joining today and watching. We really appreciate you. And again, happy Women's Day to all the ladies out there. Take care. Bye bye.
The bloom